I'm Tina Willis. I'm the running lawyer, and I'm here in Central Florida, actually the Winter Garden area, right after Hurricane Irma. It's 2 days after the storm passed through us, and you can see the running trails have a lot of this large tree, and I've already passed one other very large tree, and I'm expecting, based on past hurricanes, to have a number of trees along the trail blocking the trail. So I'll just walk around. As you can see right there, not a huge deal, but there are sometimes it could be possible that some places will be impassable, but we'll see. So my husband and I have no power. We are bracing and preparing for, and we also have no power in my office and for his work, which is primarily in construction. He is expecting to be without power. So trying to figure out what to do, but and actually this is historic. Hurricane Irma has historic power outages, and so they're saying this will be the largest restoration of power effort in US history. Kind of sucks to be a part of that. I mean, you know, we didn't lose life or limb, thank God. Our next door neighbor had a huge live oak tree come crashing, just a gigantic tree the size of the house, and it's a 2-story home, pretty large home. The size of the house, it just crashed onto the roof. It's extensive structural damage. It's going to be a very expensive repair. Thank God our house did not experience that. We also had another right across the street from there. I live in a neighborhood with a lot of live oaks, and it's beautiful, but we're in a perilous situation when it comes to power and with trees. We have a large tree right over our house that thankfully is a young tree. But anyway, another tree right across from that came down on a power line, a huge magnolia tree, very, very large magnolia tree, just was uprooted and came down on another power line. The power line for our whole block is wrapped all around that tree. And no one's even come to move the tree, much less deal with the power. So we're kind of thinking we're a little bit screwed. But I've just been thinking about the property damage claims that so many Floridians are going to face. So dealing with insurance companies, which is what I do for a living, I'm an injury and accident lawyer in Central Florida. I must say I do not handle property damage claims. I do not handle them, so I can't I won't be able to help you if you call my office. But I'm going to be posting, hopefully within the next week, maybe a few days, on my website, which is injuryattorneyflorida.com, and also on Facebook, Tina Willis Law. I will share the post, and on runninglawyer.com. I will share in several places information as much as I can to steer you in dealing with insurance companies. And I will just say in general, insurance companies play a lot of dirty tricks to avoid paying claims or to pay less than they should, often far less than they should. This is not your grandparents' insurance companies. These are not. These are the whole way the insurance company operates has changed for the worse for the consumer. Many people are not aware because the majority of people don't make insurance claims on a regular basis. But when there's widespread property damage like we're experiencing in Florida after Hurricane Irma, of course, many more people will be dealing with insurance companies. I would just encourage you, especially if you have extensive property damage like my next door neighbor, you should contact a lawyer before you contact your insurance company. With that being said, there is usually a requirement under your policies to notify the insurance company of the damage. But how you characterize that damage can mean a lot. So and it's usually within a short time period. Let's say less than 10 days to be safe. The policy may vary. It may be a longer period, but you want to get your act in gear report the damage. If you have to give a cause, just say it was the hurricane. That's all. Because I will share how insurance companies often mischaracterize the damage as flood related rather than wind related to avoid paying claims, and they've done a lot of other things over the course of history to avoid paying claims or to pay far less on property damage claims than they should. The problem is a lot of, let's say, injury and accident lawyers like myself, many of us do not deal with property damage claims, even though we regularly deal with insurance companies, and I can tell you it is their operating practice to pay less, to do everything possible to pay less, especially when people are not represented by lawyers. I mean, some of the stuff that I've seen and heard other lawyers experience is just unbelievable in my practice area. So I just fundamentally do not trust insurance companies to do the right thing without significant pressure. So what should you do? Again, I would check back to my website, injuryattorneyflorida.com, Tina Willis Law on Facebook, or runninglawyer.com, which is the running lawyer that I'm sharing right now. That's where I share running lawyer videos. I will share that an upcoming post on all three of those platforms. But in the meantime, you should contact the Florida Bar or your county bar association and ask for lawyers who deal with property damage claims. Another thing that very well might happen, I haven't seen it yet because I haven't even connected yet to my office internet, but a very common thing is that lawyers after disasters, often from around the country, but for sure in Florida, there will be some property damage lawyers there may be some who are working on a pro bono basis, which means without charge, or they will be working on a contingency basis, which means you don't have to pay unless they recover money for you. I'm not sure about that, but it is a regular thing. The the Florida Bar will send around requests for lawyers who work in this practice area or are familiar with it to help out. And that happened after Hurricane Harvey, and I expect for sure will happen. I can't say for sure, but I'm guessing will happen after Hurricane Irma. So your first call, if you have significant property damage and you expect to be dealing with an insurance company, should be to if in any state with a natural disaster, should be to the State Bar Association. In Florida after Hurricane Irma, should be the Florida Bar or your county bar association. They have lawyer referral departments. So, but I'm sure they'll be fielding all kinds of calls. Just call, do it right away, and at least talk to a lawyer. Usually the consultations are free. So at least talk to the lawyer about what your options are, what you can expect to recover if they know. Sometimes lawyers don't know because we don't have experts to know the extent of the damage. We've got to get estimates. I mean, we're not construction workers. But if they have some idea of what you're going to be expecting, you can listen, hear them out, and then decide if you would like to deal with the insurance company directly, which I really do not recommend. They are geared up always to pay the least amount of money, and sometimes, unfortunately, far, far less than they should pay. So I hope that helps. I hope everyone came safe, and at least your family was safe through the storm. The property damage is really a pain in the neck. The power loss is so inconvenient and uncomfortable, but at least there were very few. There were a few deaths, which is tragic. There weren't nearly as many as they were, I think, estimating and predicting based on the possible storm surge. So I feel like we came out of this storm okay, but it's going to be a long road ahead rebuilding for Florida. So hope all of you guys stay safe, and best of luck in dealing with your property claims and getting your yards and trees cleaned up after Irma. Take care.